Hey everybody, Eric Dorward here at the Spartan Rocketry Club with a special guest builder today.
Hello.
This is Lily, who's going to be putting together our Estes Amazon, which is a great option for a first build. It is easy to assemble, it's all plastic parts. We should be able to do this one video, maybe two, I don't know, we'll see. But it is pretty straightforward. Now there's one thing I've done already that Lily didn't. She could, I suppose, but I ended up putting together this part right here, which is where the fins are going to attach and where the motor goes in. I put that together, and I did that using crazy glue, CA glue, rather than the plastic cement we're going to use for most of this. I don't particularly like working with the plastic cement for this because, it's okay but not great. The CA glue sets up really fast. It's a lot stronger. So that part, at least, I think you should probably do with CA if you have a grown-up to do it for you. But if not, you certainly can use plastic cement. It'll just take longer. Anyway, so we're ready to build. Most of the construction here Lily is going to be doing with plastic cement glue, which is the bottle thing there. Don't mess around with that. It has got red skull and crossbones fireball warnings for a reason. Wash your hands after using this, of course. Alright, so Lily's first step is she is going to put the glue on the launch lug, not that part, yeah, on the bottom of the launch lug there. This is how we're going to attach it.
Do I just
Yeah, just squeeze it for a little bit. This thing clogs like it's going out of style. I've cleared it out, but it tends to take a while to get started. Yeah, is it flowing yet?
I don't think so. It's
All right.
not really doing anything.
Yeah, well, this happens with some regularity. Here's my a little. Let me clear it. I'm going to hold it upside down,
Okay.
and maybe that will help. But this thing actually came with a whole bunch of these little plastic bits because I think the manufacturer knows it gets clogged with some regularity. So anyway, there we go. Now it's starting to flow. All right, there you go. Got a little bit on there. This stuff stinks to high heaven. It's basically just petroleum product. Very nice.
Okay.
Yeah, and then put it. There's only one place to put it. Move your hands forward. One place to put it. There you go.
And then I just hold it there?
Yeah, hold it there for 10 seconds or so. There's no real alignment that needs to be done. It just needs to kind of set in place.
Okay.
Good? All right, why don't you put that down and instead of the instructions say to glue this part into one of the tubes next, why don't you actually put the middle part, the coupler, into one of the tubes. Yeah, do that. So here you're going to need more glue again. Yep.
Oopsies.
That's fine. Yeah, always good to test fit it. So fits in fine, right?
Yep.
Put some of the plastic cement on the inside of the tube, not on the plastic part.
Yep.
Let's actually move some of this around so we don't have any potential drips here.
Okay. So
there you go.
Do a little circle with
Yep,
it.
and rotate, spread it as you go, and you probably want a little bit more than that. So if you need, well, the more the merrier. This stuff works by melting the plastic, so you do want a decent amount so the plastic melts. This never really holds particularly well, honestly, because it works great for welding plastic to plastic. Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Alright, and then in goes the coupler.
Do I just put it in any direction?
Yep, just put it in any old way. There you go. Try spinning it around, like rotating it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not going to stick, but this is spreading the glue out. Alright, that's great.
Okay.
Now you should be able to, at the bottom end of that, we're going to attach the engine and fin mount. So put some more glue. Yeah, test fit it first.
Test fit.
Yep.
Fits pretty easily.
And then put some more glue on that. Yeah, I would try to use a decent amount on this. This, by the way, if I were building this solely as an adult, this is probably the only spot that I wouldn't do with CA glue. And the reason is, you'll see shortly, this is actually kind of time sensitive. We want to be able to get this aligned before the glue sets. So the rest of this you could probably do with CA. I wouldn't, of course, but anyway. Alright, so Lily has put it in, she's spread it around, that's great. Now the important thing to do here, and this is kind of like a deal breaker if it doesn't go well, you need to align this part here with that part there, because the launch rod's going to go through that. Now if you happen to have your launch pad handy, you can test your alignment by just putting this on the launch rod and making sure that it's straight. But since we don't, here's a ruler. Looks like, yeah, it's pretty good. We could probably align it a little bit better. We're not trying to measure anything here, of course. We're just trying to make sure if they're in alignment. And a nice big flat heavy object should be pretty good at doing that. The other thing you should do is to look down at kind of like a telescope. So look through. If you can see right through one launch rod mount to the other, then it's probably pretty good. Alright, good enough. Let's then attach the other tube. This should be pretty familiar at this point.
So then you just gotta test it.
Yep.
And then get the glue in.
Mm-hmm.
It's not coming anymore. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I don't know why it gets clogged so readily, but it sure does. Let's move this.
Oh yeah.
So we don't need to damage anything with the glue. Remember this, again, the glue works by melting the plastic like a weld. So if you're dribbling it around, you can inadvertently damage pretty much anything plasticky. I don't know that it would actually affect the shock cord, because I don't know if it's actual rubber or not, but let's not find out.
Twist it a bit.
Okay. Alright, so that's,
there you go.
the tube now is basically done. Just quickly check to make sure that the launch rod parts, the lugs, didn't get misaligned while you were doing that, because sometimes that can happen, because they're not permanently like locked in. Okay, that's fine. All right, let's let that sit for a couple minutes. You can put that aside. What we'll do next is, why don't you grab the wood glue and we can start working right there.
Oh, with the
Yeah, we can start working on the shock cord mount. So again, we're not following the instructions in order here. We're doing this for time. So why don't you get started building the shock cord mount. So we already trimmed out the piece of paper. We've got the shock cord.
There it is.
It's been a while since doing this. Turn it the other way so the
oopsies.
numbers. No, not upside up. Rotate it 180 degrees.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah.
All right. So glue is going to go into the section that says number 2. So you do need to open it first.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
It's not open.
It is not currently open.
That's fun.
Is it stuck?
Yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
Can't really get it. It could just not be strong.
Well, maybe a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. There you go.
Alright.
Glue open. Alright, so maybe like 3 narrow stripes of glue.
Like that.
I usually do it vertically, but it doesn't really matter. Horizontally might be better. Okay, very nice. Now lay the elastic cord up right until the line between 1 and 2. Right through the middle of the piece of paper.
Like that.
Yep, very nice. And then fold over the 1 into the glue.
Okay.
Try to keep the shock cord centered as best you can in the middle of it, especially where it's coming out. Okay, squeeze it over flat. You're going to get some glue on your hands probably. If you squeeze some out onto the mat, that's fine.
Yeah, that kind of happened.
Yeah, it kind of happens. I always have a whole roll of paper towels nearby just in case. This is a good time to
Mop up the glue.
mop up the glue, make sure it's flat, make sure your hands aren't too gluey at this point either. Let's squeeze that flat a little bit better. Good enough. Alright, repeat the process. Put some more glue on section 3 and then fold it over again. I use wood glue for this, but you could use just white school glue or pretty much any kind of regular.
Oopsies.
Oh well. Ooh, we got a little bit of glue on the body tube.
And
Let's
then we
get rid of
fold it
that.
over.
Yep, fold it over. Squeeze it flat. 2 fingers on it, push it down. I like to throw the whole thing. Yeah, there you go. Alright. pretty good. Alright, that can go elsewhere for the time being.
Yep.
Let's return our attention back to the rocket body itself, which it looks like, I was looking at it, I thought it got a little disjointed. Yeah, it looks, I'm not entirely sure why. Yeah, there we go. The part of the tube seems to have rolled out while we were, yeah, it's not well seated here for some reason. Not sure why, just that top bit. Naturally, of course, the rocket does need to be straight, otherwise it will be profoundly unstable. So let's try to keep it as straight as we can. All right, the last bit of plastic gluing that needs to be done is going to be with the fins. Now, you should test fit all these before you start attaching them. They go right in a crack, and you should be able to put it in and then slide it up the whole way. So that's it.
That's good.
All right. The glue for this is going to go on, there are those little prong bump outs there. You don't need to put a lot of glue on this. In fact, you don't really want to. You just want to put it, where Lily's putting it. So right in, like next to the bump. And if we need to, we might need to clean that out again because it's been sitting for a while. Is it flowing yet?
No, not yet.
All right. Well, then.
It's that plastic, right?
Yep. Well, I also have a unbent and like paper clip here that seems to work pretty well as well. It's just about the right diameter. All right, give that a try.
Okay.
And again, probably will take a little bit of time to get started. While I like there we go. Yeah, I like the precision tip on this. It does get clogged pretty easily.
And then the other side.
Yep. Let's move that.
This time you're gonna want to hold it up.
Okay, very nice.
So.
And into the crack.
That.
And then straight up. And if there are any little blobs that escaped, don't touch them with your fingers. Blot them. Try not to smear it, but just blot with a paper towel. Sometimes I use a tissue for this too. Either way, it should be pretty good. Let's check the other side. That one's fine. So repeat the process. There are 3 more fins. The nice thing about these plastic fins, one is they are pre-colored like everything else in this rocket, so you don't have to paint anything. You don't have to sand anything. And it's really, really hard to not get them on straight the way this is built. It might not be perfectly straight, but it's going to be really close. I have a feeling like the top tube we might have to revisit and attach with CA because it really doesn't seem to want to. As Lily's moving it around, I can see that it's not all that straight.
I think this one's a bit stuck. Nope, never mind, I got it.
Very nice.
And then the last fin is right here.
Yep. Let's move that a little forward.
Okay. Alright.
Okay.
In it goes, and up it goes.
Yep. So the one potential problem that you could have with this is if you use the plastic cement or use CA or whatever you use to glue the fin can, the bottom part, together. If you get excess glue into the seam between the two, it can make it harder to get the fins attached. And if you don't get the fins the whole way in and you don't have them slid the whole way up, then the motor retainer is going to be problematic. So just to illustrate this, this is what holds the motor in. And it's going to go, there are little notches in it and there are little teeth in this. They fit together like so, and then you turn it and it locks. So that's how that works. It is always kind of sticky, honestly. It doesn't ever really seem to be, I don't know what the deal is with it.
Locked into place.
Yeah. It tends to get stuck regardless of how good a job you do of it. So anyway, I'm going to stand this up for a moment. I'll get this out of the way. Let's do the parachute. Why don't you cap the plastic cement because we are done with that.
Where's the
The cap is probably underneath stuff.
cap?
There we go.
There we go. Cap.
All right. So Oh, before we do that, here's the nose
Nose
cone.
cone.
We need to, very carefully, this is the only thing you need a knife for, you are going to need to trim out, there's a little bit of fill plastic here. So carefully, remember the rules are you always cut, oh, well, you could just punch it out apparently. Is that all? Yeah, that was it. Hey, that's great. Anyway, what I was saying is you should cut away from your hands yourself, and generally you should cut toward the like core of the nose cone, not like this way, because you could damage the little eyelet. So we
Or
don't
you
want
could
that.
damage your fingers.
Yeah, and both of those are suboptimal, let's say. All right, so you put that
help?
aside for a moment. Here's the parachute.
Parachute.
If you could unfold that the whole way, please. Now you can attach this thing right into the nose cone if you want, but whenever I build one of these things, I use a barrel swivel for fishing. These are cheap. Let's unfurl it the whole way.
Sorry, tried my best.
Yeah, it's alright. This is a big one. Anyway, I use these because it is easy to swap them out should you need to, and in theory they're going to rotate. Actually, would you clamp that back up?
Oh, oopsies.
Yeah, the swivel part.
Yeah. I can't get it.
Yeah. Ooh, that is a stiff one.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Anyway, the threads from the parachute we're going to run through the eyelet here, and this part we're going to clamp through the nose cone.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you want to hang on to that.
Mm-hmm.
The threads we're going to gather up, shroud lines as they are more accurately called. So I'm going to gather them all up.
There you go.
And I'm going to...
You just kind of make it into a loop.
Yep.
And then string it through.
That's right, as narrow a loop as we can muster. This isn't actually all that great a loop. Hold on a second. There we go. All right.
And then stick it through.
And then through... Oops.
You keep losing it.
Let's try that again. There we go. Through the eyelet like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then to tie the knot, we're going to pop them back out like this.
Yep.
A nice big loop. Try to make sure that you don't have anything tangled before you do this. Push the swivel through, pull it tight, and there you go. So we'll get that out of the way. Again, that's just gonna, the clasp is gonna get clasped into the nose cone. There's the other thing we need.
Yay.
So we need the wood glue again. Put some wood glue. Yep, put some wood glue on the shock cord mount.
This one?
It doesn't really matter which side. They're all great at this point, one would hope. You don't need all that much. A couple stripes of glue here. The more glue you have, the slower it'll dry, and the more likely it is that you're going to just slop it all over the place.
There you go.
Great. If you could close the glue, that's the last we need for that. So twist the nozzle back up. Great.
There you go.
And this is going to go into the body. So you want to put it in as far as you can comfortably reach. The farther the better. Once you have it in as far as you can go, push down. You want it as flat as possible. If it's not flat, then things could get snagged on it.
I can get it down.
Well, that's fine. Just so long, the depth it needs to go down is however deep the shoulder part of the nose cone is. So this is like not even an inch, maybe an inch, not quite. So long as it's more than that, that's great.
There we go.
All right. So,
I
yep.
think I got a bit of glue on the inside.
Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of glue. That's fine. It's not really a problem.
Okay.
So just want to squish it flat, and there we go. All right. So the only things then that really need to be done at this point are we need to deal with this. Grab the scissors here. So the shock cord needs to go through the nose cone, but this is a very small eyelet. So to deal with that, we're going to trim some. You probably need to trim it a little bit narrower than that. Oh, you're going to do it on both sides. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So Lily's trimming this down to kind of a point. That way we can thread it through.
Like a unicorn horn.
Indeed. So thread it through there. As long as you can get some of it through, it should be in good shape.
There we go.
Yeah, this is way more than you could possibly need, but that's fine. We need just enough to tie it a couple times.
All right.
You want to tie it?
Yeah.
2 or 3 overhand knots. Ooh.
It's fun.
And if it doesn't, this is going to be kind of a tight knot, so 2 is probably all that we're going to get out of this. But if you need to do,
Oh, yeah.
if it didn't quite work, then you can always untie it and tie it again. But this is, of course, the thing that's holding the nose cone, and more importantly, the parachute to the main rocket body.
There we go.
So if this doesn't hold, then you got a problem. All right, we'll attach the parachute later, but the last thing that we need to do is put the decals on, and there are 2 of them. They are right here.
Are they the sticker ones?
They are stickers. This
Okay.
is, again, it's getting better, but it's still, I don't know, this glue is not holding as well as I would like. All right, so I would, if I were you, I would put the decals on the back side, the side that doesn't have the launch lugs on it.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
The one goes here, the one that says AMA goes here.
Yep.
Now line it up with this, the seam right there, because one's going to be just above that coupler, and one's going to be just below it. Okay, very nice. Let's get the middle line set, and then you can just push it out, hopefully without,
Oh, there's a bubble.
yeah, and if there's some bubbles, well, it's generally, we could probably smooth that out, maybe. Yeah, that's all right. All right, start at one end of it and work your way to the other would be my recommendation. Yeah, like that, it's pretty nice.
I think that's good.
Okay, and then repeat
for
the
the
process
second
with the other. This is going to go on the upper side of the coupling. Do your best to try to line it up with the first decal you put on. Again, focus on that middle part of it. I wouldn't try to, yeah, okay, there you go. No, that's good. No. Yeah, set it right in the middle first. And then hopefully it's more or less aligned. And that looks pretty well aligned. How's it fitting? And I think, you know what I think we're going to do? I think this is just not really setting as well as I would like. So this part, let's crazy glue it. Now, because we have decals on it, there is a preferred direction now. So that's a potential issue, but you have a second or two to get this to adjust it if necessary. So I'm going to do my best to get it lined up as well as I can, push it on.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Well, it better be at this point because it's not going anywhere. Alright, how's that?
That's good.
Anything else? This part seems to be holding better. I wasn't sure that that was going to either. Alright, so that does it. This is the Amazon. It is ready to fly.
Well, except for the parachute.
Well, yeah, we got to attach the parachute. But that's it. So, thanks for watching. Thanks to Lily for building. We'll see you next time.